Hey, and welcome to this base building video. I wouldn't call this a tutorial because there's no right or wrong way to do it. I just wanted to share a premise that I found super useful. Let me explain what kind of player I am while I go through this base and show you how it works, I suppose, and then we'll move on to the base build part of this. And apologies in advance because I know my audio is not very good. So I suppose I fall into the category of players that don't have too much time, because I'm a little bit older, not like crazy old or anything, but I've got a job, I've got stuff to do, so I pretty much only just play on the weekends, and I usually just play with like one or two buddies of mine, and that's it. So I play like 10x servers, 5x servers, predominantly modded servers with special commands such as like /outpost to teleport to outpost, servers where you can like set home and do /remove on some items, just essentially to like still give you the Rust experience but like sped up. So that's kind of how I play. So with that being said, it's quite easy to build what you want because it's very easy to get a lot of materials, because you're on like a 5x server or something like that. So usually, the issue that I find is people build these really complex, nice base designs with all the materials they have because it's super easy to get all these materials, but then they just get offline because just as easy as it is to get materials, it's easy for raiders to also get boom. So my idea has just been basically to build stuff that's just ridiculously, stupidly expensive to raid. Oh, why is that foundation not there? Okay, well then. Well, there's meant to be a foundation there. My definition of a good base is, one, does it facilitate what you want to do during the day? If the answer to that is yes, then move on to question two. Does it survive the night? And if the answer to both of those is yes, then I think the base is good enough for you. So with that being said, let's move on to the build part of this video. So while I build this, I'm just going to talk about why I have started building like this on these types of servers. Because this isn't really a tutorial. It's just there's no right or wrong way to do this kind of build. So yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at. Don't know why that keeps happening. So first of all, I suppose it's probably good for me to explain what type of player I am. I don't have a lot of time to play because I'm in that sort of age range where I've got a job and that. So priorities can't be playing Rust all the time. So predominantly I just play on weekends, and then I play like a 10x or something because it's easier to get going and stuff like that. It's easier to just have the full experience, so you're not grinding the entire time. It's easy to get stuff. It's easy to like actually do fun things like that. So that's kind of how I play. The downside to that is, as it's easy to get these resources and everything, it's also like very easy for others to get resources, and hence you get raided a lot. You get offlined a lot, I should say. So I've come up with this base design basically to make sure that I'm alive, or I have a base in the morning. So usually I play as a duo. Me and my buddy jump on and we just usually build this design. We should probably get a shotgun trap in here. This is how you can lay out the core. So you've got the TC down there. You can even whack a shotgun trap like in there for anyone that's like dropping down. This is your shoot up. It's going to be a bunker base, right? So the idea of this is, on these modded servers, you can TP into the base. You don't have to, and it's kind of annoying because usually they have cooldowns. So we're going to make a ladder shoot all the way up. But also you can /remove on these servers. So say you have this sealed off like this, ignore this is closed off as well. But in the morning you can come on and then just /remove this and you're good to go. So this is the core, nice and cozy, enough storage, especially since they updated the storage amount, capacity. That's more than enough. Get a small little box there. You can probably wedge like even more boxes into these spaces and optimize the space even better. Probably get one on there as well. Yeah, easy peasy. Cool. So that's the core. It's off-centered, as you'll notice, but what you'll find out is no one is gonna offline you. That's the whole idea of this space. And if you're really smart, you can actually angle this side where it's more weak, because obviously this side will have less honeycomb, to be like towards the sea, because they're less likely to raid from the sea side. They're more likely to like come in from one of these angles and raid this way. So actually I've done the wrong thing. I should have put it on this side. And if you're really smart, you should put it like way out into the sea, somewhere like here, so that, they can't even hold a launcher without being a boat. And then, they're kind of even less likely to do it. So I'm going to do the first layer without symmetry so it doesn't mess up what's in the core. But this is the premise. The idea is just make the base as disgusting as possible in terms of expense. So it just means honeycombing it to absolute, like a ridiculous level. Screw it. You can fill in these things with floors like down here and stuff, but just in the interest of getting this video done and not boring everybody, I'm just going to crack on with it. So that's that. What I would also do is just have a little section here for a tiny little bit more storage, because when you open this door, you see that there's a little bit of storage here. So you can, without flying, I found you're actually able to do this. You can put 2 boxes here, but because I've got flying, I'm just going to use it. You can wedge them like this or something. So that's quite handy. I'll put the door back on. So you've got just a little bit more storage, because obviously like living in a little hexagon shape for a wipe, you do get a lot of loot and it's kind of hard to keep it all. Then what you want to do is have your ladders coming up like this. You do need to add these ladders quite soon, or like quite early, because you're going to be living out of this. So with that being said, what you actually want is to hang on, let me focus here for a sec. Oh, this is so annoying. Why is it doing that? I suppose it's handy actually. What you want to do is have something that you can actually live out of, like as a starter. That's what people call starter bases. Yeah. Cool. So we'll have this open. This can be probably not tall enough yet. So you probably want to like raise this all the way up to the height that you need it to be, which I would say, I don't know, just get a gist for it. Do whatever you want. It's totally up to you. I'd say probably that's high enough. So, the symmetry was on? Yeah. So confused. Oh no, it was off. Okay. Right, keep it off just for this bit. I don't know why it's doing that. It's so strange. So this is the top. You got a door up here as well. And then, if you can't afford to do any more, you can just put ladders up like this for now. But like I said, like this is for 10x servers, so it's quite easy to afford to do this. Once you're happy that you're ready to spend even more, we can make it even more expensive by adding more honeycomb, of course. And the shape we're going to go for is just so that you can have a bit of an open core at the top. So we're going to make this go all the way up. I would honeycomb the inside, but in the interest of time, I'm not gonna. You know what that looks like. So what's the need to do it? Why does it keep resetting to this? So your top floor is going to look like this. This is your like living space pretty much. So what I do as well is have a ladder hatch going up to the roof. So that when you open that ladder hatch, even if this is left open, you can't get deep down, which is very nice. On these on these like angled sides, we're going to add a door, and then we're going to have windows on these other sides. So let's do that. Oops. And then we're going to shut these off. We're going to close this up. Right, so I would probably make this high qual, and that. And then also in the core itself, I would make all this stuff high qual, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that right now. You'd have a ladder coming all the way up here to make it actually, usable. And then you can kit this area out however you like it. So, I'd at least have a workbench up here, some lockers for I've got the symmetry on. Some lockers, some beds, all that good stuff. So something that's really satisfying is you can actually have 3 of these lined up perfectly. It's really nice. So I'm going to take a moment to do that. How nice is that? And like I said, usually I play with a 2-man, so I'd get a couple of beds in here as well. Oh, please. There we go. Which doesn't disrupt the mobility too much. Still okay. And then the rest can be boxes, however you like, because as you progress through the wipe, you just get more loot, so you're going to need to use this space for boxes. It's still not a lot of space, but that's okay, because we've got plans for the next area, which is essentially just more honeycomb. So we're going to honeycomb only the bottom bit, or the top 2 levels, let's say. We're here now, so you cap these off. We're going to do something special with this triangular bit that's poking out here. Don't worry, there are foundations here. I just don't know why it's not displaying properly. I think it's because of the symmetry, but don't worry about that. So we're going to add 2 frames here and then go all the way up with walls. This is going to be our way out of the base, pretty much. So we're going to put a ladder hatch here. I lost the ladder hatch. Okay. Don't know where it went. Angle it sideways like that. Angling it straight is kind of annoying. It doesn't really, the mobility isn't very nice. And then we're going to use doors here. Use sheet doors because no one really raids this. It's totally fine to use whatever you want. I like to have a shotgun trap here because if I leave this door open, some people try and come in and, their curiosity gets the better of them. Then ladders all the way up, of course, for obvious reasons. There, and then that's your way in. So next comes a bunch of frames. I've got the symmetry on good. I'm gonna go straight up with frames. Oh, and we use ladders here as well. It's not flawless, I know. I've had some people break these ladders. You spam it. You spam ladders everywhere because there's 3 ways up, and you can put ladders on both sides. So there's 12 ladders total. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 12 ladders total. I've had people come and break them. I don't know why they would waste their time doing it, but they've done it, so it's kind of annoying. But also easy to replace because remember we're on a 5x or a 10x. And then close this off like this. This is kind of your mobility area. And then this is just what I've been doing. I've been putting one bit out like this. And then all of this is closed off. It's a shooting floor essentially. And then this little room here, you can do a lot. You can do whatever you want with this. You could make it you could make it space for. Hang on, let's close these off first. So usually I close those off as windows because you put stuff here. And then these other ones, they can just be embrasures because we're actually shooting out of them, for taking heli or whatever else you do. I actually like to have them sometimes facing inwards because then you can actually see more, when you get up close up. Anyway, that's a different video. Outwards is good though because you can kind of crouch on the wall a little bit and see downwards, especially when you place boxes around here. So usually I put a box here and a box here. With this kind of placement, then you can actually see down there. Right, so for these spaces, you can kit them out however you like. So, for a first, you can put loads of, here's just a few examples. You can put a bunch of furnaces. I know the placement's awful, but it's just in the interest of speed. You probably also want to just seal this off with a garage door too, or I suppose an armored door, whatever. Of course I've got symmetry on. Perfect. What else could we do here? So another idea I had was, without the door frame, you use a roof, and then it becomes a peak up to the roof above. Because what we're going to do is a little turret pod type thing. So there, little ankle biters. It's not perfect, but it works. And I think there's also something interesting you can do with does that work? Yeah, you can like hide a locker back there, and it still works pretty much the same. You could alternatively make it a bedroom. Get like a couple of boxes in here as well. Boom, boom. And then you can have this still working like ankle biters. You can get up here. What you can also do is siren lights. You can put a few siren lights here. Oops. And then you can get up there if your movement's not as bad as mine. For God's sake. Helps if you have a furnace here, actually. I think that's the situation. Yeah, actually, that's true. What I was doing was I had a furnace room. I had a furnace room like this, and then I had this situation going on. And that's when the siren lights came in handy, because I couldn't quite get up there. So I just used siren lights here and peeked up onto the roof like that. That's one thing you could do. There's so many other things you could do. You can use this space here for like a little computer station, or make it into a mixing table room. I wouldn't recommend a mixing table room for servers like this, because you've usually got like instant brewing on these servers. So it's not really necessary, is it? So that's that. That's this is like your mobility space. So let's move on. Fill this out. Oh, sorry, that needs to be a way up. You know what? Sorry. Either this can be your way up. This is what I have done in the past, but I don't think that's the best way to do it, because if someone takes control of your roof, they like immediately get into this area, whereas you want to limit their path to the core, essentially, right? So you want to maybe put the triangle ladder hatches here, where it just takes a little bit more boom to go down, and then through here. And then also maybe in terms of mobility, that's a bit better, because you can go straight from outside straight to the roof. For the roof, like really nothing special. It's just triangle roofs like this. I don't know why the stability is being funny. You know what? I do know why. You need to spam frames in here, because it's quite tall. Alright, just spam these. Cool. Right, now it should work. Yeah, there we go, cool. And then for here, do whatever you want, I suppose. Still, like, you could do a regular roof like this. No, it doesn't want to. Okay. Actually, no, that's not what I usually do. I usually put a turret pod here. So sit a turret in here. Sometimes I get lazy and I just don't bother with the turrets, because people don't tend to online you, so it's not really a... Okay, cool. This is... What the hell, man? Such a buggy server. Anyway, people don't tend to like online you. They just tend to offline you on these servers. So it's not totally necessary to have to have turrets ready if you can't be bothered with all the wiring and stuff. Like I say, I only play for like a weekend, so wiring takes like a good like hour or two or something like that. So sometimes it's just not worth the effort. This is meant to be a jump up ladder hatch type thing, same as on the other side. But yeah, so this is your roof, nice and easy. It's a real chonker of a base. And then in terms of like external TCs, oh my god, what is going on here, man? Whatever, okay, it's just going to be done like this. And usually what I do is just build off some little bits like this, I don't bother with external TCs. I just make little turret pods here because externals protect you from getting offlined, right? So you don't get griefed. But this base is built so that you don't get so you just won't get offlined. So I don't see the point in bothering with externals. And then just in terms of like personal preference, I also don't see the point in a compound either. I much prefer having just turrets so like no one can come close. Because if you like, there's a few reasons why compounds aren't really particularly great. I know this is ugly, but just go with it, you know. Like we can tidy it up by doing all this fancy, not really fancy, but like, you know, it doesn't have to be ugly. We can do something like this. But hey ho. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would add. Oh yeah, just to finish here. Your windmill will go here. You can put your windmills there. I know it's a bit awkward being like directly on the roof, but hey ho, it's okay. Because it's so tall, the stability's not very good. Yeah. And then in terms of like where the battery goes, I don't really know. The server I play on has this weird thing where you can like get a test generator. Then I don't even need to worry about these or batteries. What I suppose you could do is like come down here and just put it in the wall. Like I said, a lot of the servers that you can play like 3x on, or not 3x, sorry, 10x on, they have slash remove, so you can just remove one of these. Put a battery there behind a window, something like that, if you need a battery. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry. So yeah, that's it. So just to give you a bit of an idea of a run through without like God mode on, here's how it works. Come up here, jump in. Remember, you've got your shotgun trap to protect you. Come up here. You do spam the spacebar a lot with this build. So now you're in like your living area. You got your boxes if you want to do a little bit of shooting. Another nice thing to do here is actually make it, turn it into this kind of situation. If you want to do a bit more roof camping, this is a really nice setup for that. So you can actually get all the way up here and see down and all this stuff, and see even back onto the base itself. I don't like to roof camp, and I appreciate having the extra space, so I don't do that. I use this for lockers and beds and stuff like that, or furnaces or whatever I want to use. What is going on here? What the heck? Oh, it's done that weird thing. Okay, I see. Oh man, this server's so broken. Man, it's so annoying. Screw it, I'm gonna leave it. You guys know what's meant to be there. Cool, we'll carry on. What I've also tried to do is, because people don't want to online this and then they also don't want to offline it, I try and annoy people. So you go and buy a SAM turret and whack it here. So then you can actually, I can't place a SAM turret. So you can, I don't know, just annoy some people and get them to come and try and raid you, or just at least like come to your area and try and kill you or something like that. What's really nice is you kind of have a compound, an invisible compound, because these turrets will do work for you. If anyone comes too close, they get mowed down by them. If you die or you fall off around here, your body is pretty much protected. You won't get door camped. And then if somebody does manage to, I don't know, come in and do something, it's nice and open. Like, it's super visible. You know, having high walls around your base is obstructing. So if you had a high wall here, there's an easy place to like hide back here, and then they can just run all the way around the high wall. Usually I would build this near oil rig and then just, you know, go back and forth from oil rig to here, and then cargo as well, and just be that kind of player. Just have fun with the wipe, essentially, and not have to worry about getting offline. So look, the reason I made this video is because I don't think that it exists on YouTube currently. So, you know, if you'd like this video, be sure to share it with your duo, trio partner. I wouldn't suggest this for a bigger team because of the limited space. Even though it looks huge, it's actually just all materials. It's super expensive, but if you're on a 10X, that shouldn't be a problem. Look, there's only enough room for 2 bags, you know, 3 if you really want to squeeze in another one here. But, you know, then you've got an issue with furnaces, but I suppose you could put that upstairs. You might be able to squeeze 4 in here, potentially, but I don't think that's going to be a nice experience. What do you mean line of sight block? What do you mean line of sight blocked? Is it possible? No. Okay, you can just get 4 in here. Fine. Well, that's that. So if you liked the video, please press like and let me know what you think about it. And if you think I can improve it, I'd be more than happy to hear that. So yeah, thanks for watching.